What's up, guys? Welcome to moving vlog number 4. So far, things have gone pretty well. We moved the tank in the last one, and then before that, we moved the shrimp tanks. Today, well, tomorrow is going to be a big day because I'm moving all of the fish. And I just want to show you guys a little bit of what my plan is before I put it into action tomorrow morning. Because I think I'm going to get started like pretty early, and I'm just going to be kind of going. And I'm going to take time to film and everything, but I really want to be focused on the fish as much as possible to make sure that things go smoothly. And speaking of the fish, look at how much the fry have grown in here. This move really can't come soon enough because these guys are starting to get way too big for this tank. Like they're getting to the same size as the adults now, which is really exciting. So I'm really looking forward to getting these guys especially into the big tank. And as you can see in Quarry Mountain here, it is totally overgrown at the moment, which is kind of by design because I'm going to use all of this Vallisneria in here, Vallisneria spiralis, which I think is the name of the plant, but I might be wrong about that. I've been trying to research it the last few days and I haven't got like a conclusive answer. So if you guys know what this plant is, please let me know in the comments. That'll be awesome. But anyway, I've let it get totally overgrown. So I'm looking forward to getting in here and just taking out all the plants and kind of seeing what I have to work with for the new tank. You can see that this Vallisneria has even been growing so well that it's starting to flower. You can see this little guy back here. It's growing, all the way above the light at this point. So it will be like slightly nostalgic to take these tanks down, but I have just as much excitement as I do for nostalgia because just starting new things is fun, honestly. And these tanks have had a great run, and there's going to be something new in each and every one of them. So a little nostalgic, but also excited. And the last tank that I'm taking down is, of course, the Blackwater Jungle here in the office. And this one is probably going to be the most complicated because I've got to deal with all of these immersed plants above. But that's going to be a project for the morning. I want to take you guys and show you the bucket system that I'm going to use for the fish. So come with me. So as you can see, I'm starting to get everything kind of set up here in my living room. And I've got these 3 buckets. One of these is going to correspond to each tank. So by the end of this, I'm going to have fish, airstone, and media in each of these buckets. And most of the media is going to come from this filter, which is hooked up to Quarry Mountain here. But let me take you out to the car and I'll show you how I'm going to secure these. So out here at the car, you can see I've got the system set up, or starting to set up. So basically, I've got this outlet here, which plugs in to the cigarette lighter here. Get it plugged in. There we go. And then once I turn it on, I've got this air pump attached to it. And in this bucket, 3 airline tubes that are connected to this thing. You can see I've got another connector here. And then an air stone on the bottom of each. So let's turn on the car and double check that this works. It's all plugged in. Okay, and then I've got the on-off switch here. And there we go. You can see that the air stones are working. So I'm going to have 1 bucket of fish strapped into this seat. And then my other 2 buckets are going to be in the 2 back seats belted in. So if everything goes according to plan tomorrow, that is going to work perfectly. The fish are going to have air, and also the media is going to have air. So that it's just going to be a safe ride for everyone, plenty of oxygen. And it's been super hot out the last few days. So I shouldn't have to worry about temperature. It's basically going to be like tropical temperatures in my car. So that is the system that I'm going to use. And I'm going to kind of putter around the house today and pack up as much stuff into my car before tomorrow morning as possible. And I'm going to wake up super early tomorrow to get just like a really good start on the day, because the last 2 times I've driven, I've gotten caught in traffic. And I don't want that to happen this time with the fish in the car. I want to get to the destination as quickly as possible. So come tomorrow morning, I'm just going to get straight into it. So I'll see you guys then. It's a little past 8 o'clock in the morning. Just had my breakfast. Let's do this. Cue the time lapse. All right, so far so good. This tank is done. Got all of the hardscape over here, the terrestrial plants right there, and then in here, all of the fish. This tank next. Two tanks down. I'm making pretty good time. You can see I've also got all of these plants in here, and then all of the fish from the riverbed. And you can see I also emptied out the Awaze filter from Quarry Mountain. And yeah, I've got a bag of media in each bucket, and then one more bag of media in here that's going to go in the last bucket from the jungle tank. And here's the jungle. I think that this is going to be the biggest job just because of these plants here. So let's get started. All right, so mission accomplished. It's now about 12 o'clock and I'm almost ready to hit the road. I basically just have to pack up the car and go. Got all of the fish in the buckets right here, all of the plants, got my kind of water change system, another bucket of rocks here and stuff, and then all the plants over here. I'm not totally sure what I'm gonna do with these plants yet when I get there. I'll probably just put them in the sun for now, honestly. But yeah, and then here is more pothos. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. And a big bucket of hardscape. So yeah, I'm a little tired. That took me about 5 hours or so, but it's still early in the day, which means hopefully I'm gonna get there pretty quickly, because on the last couple trips, I kind of hit traffic, and I'm hoping leaving at the time I'm leaving, everything's gonna be good. I'm also bringing lunch this time. So yeah, should be a good trip, but I'm gonna get the car loaded up. Okay, I think that'll be pretty secure. All right, let's get the other ones. So this is the bucket that I was just keeping the airstone soaking in overnight. So fingers crossed this system still works. But I'm gonna grab this last bucket and we'll get it running. Okay, I just started the car, got the system all hooked up. Let's double check that it's working. Okay, awesome. I'm just gonna double check the other buckets. Okay, that one's not working. So it looks like there might be a problem with that hose. So I couldn't figure out what was wrong with the hose that's in the back bucket there. So I think what the plan is going to be is I'm going to stop at a couple of rest stops along the way and just reoxygenate the water just by sort of pulling some out and then adding some back in. And as long as I stop at like one rest stop per hour and do that, I think everything is going to be totally fine. And I won't even need to worry about the other buckets, but it's probably a good idea to stop and check on them anyway. And at this point, the sooner I leave, the faster that they are going to be there. For the most part, I think this is a huge success, but I'm not there yet. So I'm going to get on the road and I'll see you at the new place. Okay, so just got off the road, and unfortunately, it was another very long day of travel. On the road for about 4 hours again. I got in traffic behind like a major accident about an hour into the trip, and that kind of just set me up to hit traffic at 3 different places, basically. But I'm here, and to be honest with you, I was pretty nervous about the fish in the last hour of travel, especially the ones that didn't have the airstone in the bucket. These guys. But as I was driving, the buckets were moving slightly, which was a concern, but also let me know that like there was surface agitation, and so like a good amount of like aeration basically for the fish. So I knew that oxygen would be fine. I was just nervous about the movement, but on looking into all of the buckets here, I'm not really noticing any losses. So huge success. But I'm letting them chill here for now. I'm going to start the acclimation process, and I'm also going to kind of get the garage cleaned up as I do. But what my plan is I'm basically going to take 15-ish gallons out of this tank. And as I do that, add some of that water to these buckets and add a little bit of this water back into those buckets or into this tank. And I'll do that for probably the next hour, maybe hour and a half. I want to do it pretty slowly. I really don't want to stress these guys out after the day that they've had. So, yeah, that's my plan. But honestly, really happy so far. But if you haven't seen the last moving vlog, well, where I set up this tank, you should check it out. There's a link there or something. But it's quite the process. And looking at the stand as I'm coming in today, I can see that it has settled a bit, which is good. Settled meaning the feet are sinking like onto the blocks where they should be and all of that. So yeah. And part of the reason that I set up this tank was for this process so that I could successfully, like have a place to put all of the fish when I move them here. So super happy about this tank, obviously. But yeah, check out that video. I'm just siphoning up some bubbles that are kind of along the edge here. But yeah, I'm going to take out probably 15 gallons of this. And I think as I start acclimating, I'm also going to start getting the plants sitting in here. that was a lot of plants. And I've been acclimating the fish this whole time. So I think I'm going to turn off the light and then I'm going to add them in. And I think I'm going to check back in with you guys tomorrow because I want to make sure that this goes super well. So let's check them out tomorrow, first thing in the morning. Okay, guys, so it is the next day. And so far, everything looks great. For the most part, the fish seem to be totally fine. I did notice that there's one cardinal who isn't doing so well, and that is a cardinal who is not doing well in the last tank. So I'm hoping that he pulls through. I'm just going to have to see at this point. I'm going to be back here tomorrow to check on the tank again. I'm going down to the old house today and then back here. So I'm going to set up one of these lights to be on a timer and leave the other one off, basically. But I tested the parameters of the tank today and perfect, which is kind of to be expected. This is a pretty large volume of water. And with the media that I brought, that kind of just ensures that there's going to be enough beneficial bacteria in here for everything to be fine. And that goes for the plants and everything as well. I'm sure they had a lot of beneficial bacteria on them. And I mean, they're also just going to soak up any nutrients from the water column. And yesterday I did also add some beneficial bacteria and I added more this morning. And last night I also added some leaf zone to the tank. So it should be totally good while I go away for a little bit. Well, for really just a day. But it's kind of crazy to see all of my fish in one massive tank like this. And it's making me really excited to build out the rest of the studio in here and escape this tank eventually. And it was pretty cool yesterday to put all of the plants that I own in here also. So to kind of see my whole collection in here is kind of mind blowing, but pretty cool. And it was also stressful yesterday to break down the tanks, but also fun in a way because I got to see all of the hardscape materials and everything that I was going to be working with for my next projects. But overall, this was stressful to do to get all the fish in here, but the system that I used worked. And yeah, for the most part, the fish are totally fine. They were pretty decolored when I got them here and eventually added them in. But overnight, they've colored up and they look, yeah, totally fine. They have a really good feeding response. So I think it was a success overall. So yeah, it's a huge weight off my chest to get to this point where all of the fish, all of the plants are here. But that is the end of this moving vlog. And I think the whole moving vlog series actually is coming to an end with this video. Because the next thing I'm going to do is basically just clean out all of the tanks at home and then move the tanks that are there and also the stands that two of them are on right now into here. And I don't think I need to film that. It's just going to be a bunch of cleaning and then another trip here. So thanks for watching this whole series, guys. And if you're jumping in this video, there is a playlist for all the moving vlogs if you want to see how I got started. But thank you guys so much for watching this whole experience. I know it's been a bit stressful for me, and I'm sure that was reflected in some of the videos. But I think it's an interesting experience to share. And hopefully, if you're thinking about moving your fish tanks or your fish or anything, if you got a big project like mine to do, then hopefully this video series and maybe this video in particular helped you out. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.